And today for our verse, I wanted to read this in the book of Hebrews chapter 13, and I want to read just verse 2. And the text reads, "Do not neglect hospitality to strangers, for by this some have entertained angels without knowing it." Do not neglect hospitality of strangers or to strangers, for by this some have entertained angels without knowing it. Today, I want to talk about this text is because we can be so easily caught up in our own feelings. We can be so easily caught up as being the sole focus for the day. Uh, if we're not careful, we will think that you know the only focus is us, right? In that day, in that time, in that moment, in that hour, and then we get approached by certain people. We talk about certain people. We say things about other people. But what if? But what if on your worst day, somebody approached you and they were in need, but yet you had the audacity to brush this person off? What if the person that you brushed off just so happened to be an angel? And it's very interesting because when we see angels, or let me make it about me. Let me make it about me, Dad. At times when I would visualize what an angel looked like, an angel would look soft and it would look loving and they would have these big wings and they just would look so harmless. But when we read our Bible and when we look at the word, and then it lets us know that each and every one of us has an angel that is assigned to us, and letting us know that that angel is protecting us, that would make you begin to have a different level of an understanding of what an angel looks. Angels are ferocious, okay? Angels are coming with a different level of energy and a different level of vigor. Okay. So the reason why I want to bring that is to let us know today, remind us today, first and foremost, be careful what we're saying about people, who we're talking about and who we're talking to. Because one thing I've seen, and we're going to get into and talk a little bit about Charlie Kirk a little bit later in the show, but one thing that I have seen on social media is I've seen people who identify as believers, and I've seen mixed reviews online. I've seen some people celebrating death, which is not okay, right? I've seen some people mourning, but other people saying this is what this person deserves and different things like that. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful to not neglect hospitality to strangers. Many of us don't have a personal relationship with Mr. Kirk or even with his family, right? So we don't know what type of life he lived outside of the public eye. But y'all be careful not to neglect hospitality to strangers, for by this some have entertained angels and not have even known it. Am I calling Mr. Kirk an angel? He might have been. But either way, if you identify yourself as a believer, we should live in a way to where our lives line up and are leading with love, to where we are a reflection of Christ, to where when somebody sees us, they can identify us outside of the rest of the world. Because why? Because we are called and we are set apart. We operate different. We don't operate the way, if everybody is throwing rocks and throwing stones at the person who has sinned, we're not throwing rocks and we're not throwing stones. We're showing grace. We're leading with love. And we're operating in that because why? Because Jesus did that first for us. Family, today, I want to encourage you, be cautious. Be cautious. Because if we were And I'm jumping around in the text a little bit. I'm jumping around in that book a little bit. But if we were the woman who was in the text, to where the men were sitting there and they were saying, stone her, she sinned. Stone her, she's been promiscuous. But then Jesus looked at them and said, if you have no sin, you cast the first stone. What does that look like in 2025? Our words, our stones, right? It doesn't always have to be physical, but you gossiping about people is stones. And we're taking people's reputation and we're bending it and we're breaking it and we're not holding back. But what if we were to sit back and we were to put your life on a big screen and then we followed your every move at work, at home? What if we entered into your mind and we saw your inner thoughts? Would you then be in the position to where you could cast the first stone? And if the answer is no, which the majority of us, it should be, unless our name is Jesus Christ, then it's time for us, family, to operate differently, to move differently, to make a better decision today than we made yesterday. So today, I want you to walk with your head held high, but I want you also to walk with love on your mind, grace in your heart, and leading like Jesus did, because at the end of the day, family, none of us are perfect. There's only one, and his name was Jesus. So that's straight from the source this morning. I just felt led to really speak and talk and broach that topic a little bit. But family, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come right back, and we're going to return with Attorney Fred Jones as we get ready to dive into Law Talk and talk about some of the news that's going on around us. We'll be right back with more Speaker Success in the Morning after this.